Today I'm going to be watching more Finnish music, and recently I watched a video where it was a compilation of Finnish music from the 1990s, and today I'm going to be doing something similar, but one of my favourite decades for music, 1980s. I was born in the 80s, and although I wasn't really listening to music at that time, for some reason I just feel this connection to the music, the style. There was a lot of electronic music. A lot of the music videos I like watching. It's just a great time for music and movies and things as well. So I want to see what the 1980s was like for music in Finland. This is the 50 most popular songs, according to Spotify anyway. If there's any other big songs from the 80s that are not in this video, please recommend them as well. Tell me what you think about music in the 1980s from Finland. And about the songs on this list. Let's check them out.
Tänään meillä on vuorossa 80-luvun 50 kuunnelluinta suomenkielistä biisiä Spotifysta.
Tuhansia töitä, valvottuja öitä, viikkoja minä sinulle tehdä, jos saisin sitä niitä.
Yeah, when I watched the 90s one, this is a band that I've seen quite a lot, Levi and the Leavings. So I guess they were just very popular in both of those decades. You can tell me more about them. Again, what we're hearing already is like some good rock music, and like, of course, I was talking about electronic music in the 80s, but the 80s had some brilliant rock music. Interested to see more. Let's check it out.
Valehtelisin, jos väittäisin vihaavani surua vain kitara soi. Nyt rypujupiset, ryymisi rupiset, tai katkon sinulta nyt. Tuntisin paremmin. Daris, sä veit yksinäinen.
I mean, like, that's like the perfect example of the type of rock music I'm talking about. That sounds so good, but that's the first 10. A lot of rock music, some good pop music, and just great singers there as well. But yeah, I'd love to see if there was music videos for these sort of things as well. Tell me if you know of any of these songs, how big they were, if any of the groups we've seen so far are still relevant today, still making music, or were big stars in the 80s or any time in Finland.
Maanantai-aamuna krapula ja vapina tuijotan vessaan. Joka päivä töitä teen, joka ainoa aamu.
I mean, that just is like quite a unique look. They look like they work in finance in the city or something like that. Matti and Teppo. Interesting. I mean, it almost looks like a father and son. Tell me more about them as well. What's this called? My joka päivä toita tin. Interesting. Got the word teen there. Yeah, no idea, but it sounded okay actually.
Ruudun takaa, jälleen kuulun silloin. Nyt vastausta.
I mean, that kind of gave me like a bit like Rod Stewart vibes, not just because of the hair, just the sound of it as well. Like the sort of music you can listen to on a nice long road trip or something like that. Ricky Sorsa, yeah, I can't see the face, but it looks very 80s, the shirt, the hair, like that. Yeah, that's another group, Yo, who I've seen before in the 90s one, I think, and I've seen in a few Finnish music compilations. So yeah, another group that I should probably check out some full songs from. Interesting cover there. Yeah, that's another one, Epu Normali. So I've seen them quite a few times pop up, and yeah, with regards to that one, don't really know how to like quantify that as a genre, maybe another kind of rock music or pop. But yeah, quite a few similar artists popping up here and there, so definitely some big stars of this time period. Levi and the Leanings there, right at the start of the decade as well, so really so much success for a long period of time. Like it. I mean, that one's got that kind of punk style, you can see from the look of it, the sound of it. How big was punk music in Finland? I would guess because of like the popularity of metal music today, that punk must have been the beginnings of that. I'm sure a lot of fans of metal were punks in their younger days and things like that. How big was the punk scene in Finland in the 80s? And I like that sound, that sort of like, I don't know how to say it, that sort of like synthwave kind of, that's the sort of music I really associate with the 80s. Very like, it gives you these feelings of nostalgia now. But
sai mut nauramaan hän.
Nice, like that.
Ei mennä nukkumaan ohi syyskuun läpi repaleisen lokakuun kaivuun. Ja käsi kädessä kuljemme talonaltioon.
So I guess is that the group was seen as the punks, so it got a bit more like maybe new romantic style here as well. Dingo seemed like quite, yeah, they got some versatility, some diversity in their styles. Looked like quite an intriguing band to find out more about actually.
Sun villakoirasi nimi oli Rintintin. Kerro mistä laivat myötätuulen purjeisiinsa saivat. Ja sinä hymyilet ja katson noin, viet minut aamuun. Olen kaivannut sinua kyllikki, kun kohtalon tuun.
I mean, the thing with like Levi and the Leanings is it's every part of the 80s as well. If I'd seen 1980, 1983, 1985, and right at the end of the decade, like, I don't think I've seen a music group with that level of consistency, and they also had songs in the 90s as well that were big. From anywhere, like even like the Beatles, they're at the top. It was like a short period, relatively short period of time with the four members. Like they are really just releasing music that was popular throughout the decade. Incredible consistency actually. Just shows how big they were. I'm just taking it from these videos that they are the biggest band in Finland. Yeah, a lot of great music in the 80s so far. Really, like I feel that similar feelings I get when I listen to like British music from the 80s as well. Really just enjoy the sound from that time period.
Hän on nahkatakkinen tyttö, sama tyttö on lähdellekin. Minä lähden Pohjois-Karjalaan. Missä oletkaan ollut kaikki nämä vuodet? On pitkä kuuma kesä ja mä aion elää sen.
Okay man, that is like just the epitome of 80s music. Even the look of this cover here, man, like the girl gun just looking badass. The sound of it, but I could hear that in like Top Gun or something like that. The intensity. Oh, yes.
Sinua ajattelen, vuosi 80.
Okay, so I was going to say, so I was saying like Levi and the Leanings were the most popular group, but it looks like Epu Normali was up there as well. Like really sharing this top of the list, two big groups, I guess. Was there any sort of rivalry between them at the time? You know, like in the UK during the 90s, we had like Oasis and Blur in the Britpop scene, and they were like really back and forth and a lot of rivalry. Were these groups having that competition, or were they just all getting on and enjoying their music?
Kotikaupungin katu oli hiekkainen tie, siinä Angliakon. Ja elämä on helppoa, silloin kun on joku.
Okay, Dingo sneaking on in there with the number 1 in 1985 Leviton Tokimo. So yeah, 3 big groups there, man. A lot of good music. Really happy to hear that. I mean, I've not heard any of that music before, or any of the songs, so cool to hear it. Hear some new music for the first time, but yeah, that kind of is what I like about 80s music. A lot of good, interesting acts, good quality music, similar sounds to what I've heard before from like British acts at that time and so on. A lot of really good talent. So tell me what you think about this. What's your favourite song from that time period in Finland? What do you think about this list? And if there's any other good songs from that time period that are not there, recommend them in the comments. Thanks.